Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Richard. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 home inspection tips for sellers. And stay all the way to the end because the last one is probably the most important one and the most costly to you. Alright, let's get started. Like I say guys, we're going to talk about 5 home inspection tips for sellers. Now before we get started, please hit that like button. I'll definitely appreciate it. But let's get started with tip number 1. So the first thing you want to look out for, or if you're thinking about selling in the inspection, is mold or water damage. Now this is actually really important for you to take care of before you consider selling or putting it on the market. You definitely want to take care of any mold, and you definitely want to take care of any water damage, because we all know that mold or water damage, if you see it when you're walking in any of the walls, you know there might be an issue behind that wall already. So you want to make sure you take care of that as soon as possible, because that's going to affect the amount of money or the amount of offers that you're going to get, or above asking offers that you're going to get for your house. So it's really important to check that. Mold, water damage, very important, especially with homes who are much older. I used to be in the insurance industry, and we knew that if a home was built in the 70s or 60s, insurance companies already know more likely when there is going to be water damage, because the older the pipes, the more likely they're going to break or something's going to happen. So they already have an idea. So if your home is older, you definitely want to check for that. You want to make sure that there is no mold or water damage that may affect the price or the amount of offers that you're going to get on your property. Tip number 2, guys, is pests and termites. Now we all know in Southern California there's always going to be termite damage. That's just a given, right? In any property that's an older property, 10, 15 years or older, you're definitely going to have that, even some of the newer ones. Just make sure that the damage is not substantial where it's going to have to cost you thousands of dollars to fix. You definitely want to take care of that throughout your ownership of the property anyways. But if there is an issue when it comes to termite, you might want to take care of it even before you put your house for sale, just so that way you try to prevent anything of the, how would I put it, to prevent the buyer's agent to submit counters that you're going to have to fix anyways, right? So you want to make sure you try to avoid that. You want to get it as ready as you can, so that way when buyers come in, it's already taken care of. And termite, that's big in Southern California, specifically more in Tustin. This is primarily where I'm at. But this is something that I encounter with all my buyers and sellers. There's always some sort of damage when it comes to termite. Some of it is maybe a few $100s to take care of, some even a few $1,000s. But that tip number 3 is fire and electrical damage, or not properly set up electrical situation, right? So you want to make sure that when you do something, or you have done something, that it was done correctly. So that way it doesn't become an issue when you're ready to sell your house. Now you got to go back and fix something from years ago, right? So you want to make sure that all the electrical is actually working, that all your fire detectors are actually working too. If you have to replace batteries. You definitely want to take care of that before you put it on the market, because once it goes on the market, the buyers are going to have their own inspector as well, and they're going to look at all that as well. And I've been in situations where we had to ask them to replace the fire detectors, to put new batteries, to even put new ones, because sometimes you've had them there for 5-10 years. You may have replaced a battery, but you never know. It might be so old that they actually don't work anymore, even if it has a battery. So you definitely want to put new ones, and that's only going to cost a few $100s just to do that. So you want to take care of that as soon as possible. That's just kind of a given. And like I said, the electrical, that's important as well. The last thing you want is a faulty electrical light or something that may actually cause even more damage to your property. So tip number 4 is toxic or chemicals in the house or on the walls, right? We all know that paint has certain chemicals, so you want to make sure that there's nothing too crazy that type of chemical in the house that is going to affect the price or the amount of offers you receive on your property after the inspection is done even. So because let's say the buyer set up the inspection, you thought you had taken care of it. Well, now that's gonna change the offer because now they can renegotiate how much they can offer you, right? Even though you've already accepted their offer at X amount, but by after the inspection, they realize, you know what, this is actually gonna cost $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and now they're either gonna ask you to take care of that, or they're gonna ask you to drop down the price. Either way, it's probably cheaper for you to take care of it beforehand, so that way there's none of those issues. But at the same time, you also want to talk to your real estate agent to see what makes sense to take care of and what doesn't. Because yes, you can sell your house as is as well. So you also want to talk to a real estate agent in your area that can help you with those questions of what to fix and what not to fix. Sometimes there's scenarios where it doesn't make sense to actually fix. Just leave it the way it is. The way the market is right now, it is a seller's market. So it will sell. The question is for how much more above asking it will actually sell. Before I continue, guys, if this information has been helpful, please hit that like button. I'll definitely appreciate it. And go and subscribe to my channel as I'm uploading new videos every single week. All right, guys, so we got to the last tip, which is tip number 5. And this one, like I said, it's probably the most important one and the most costly. This one is structural damage to the property. That is huge, right? Because something like that is anywhere between $10, $15, $20, $30, $50,000, or it may even affect the fact that you can't even sell your house because it has so much structural damage, or the foundation is cracked or damaged as well. So that's one of the things that you definitely want to check. Having an inspector check that as well, because that's going to make a big difference of how much you could actually get for the property, or if it's going to be sold as is. I mean, if you already know that there's structural damage to the property, then you know that, hey, you know what, we're going to have to sell it as is. You know, we have an understanding of how much we may get for it, and they could take care of it once they own it, right? But structural damage, that's a huge one. You definitely want to take care of it if you can. If you can't, you know, you definitely want to know the buyers or the buyer's agent that there is structural damage. But if you hire a real estate agent, they'll definitely ask you those questions, see what's wrong with the property, and then you can tell him or her, and they could go out and tell the buyer's agent what's wrong with the property, or if it has been taken care of. All right, guys, those were my 5 home inspection tips for sellers. Like I said, if this was helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. I'll definitely appreciate it. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel as I'm uploading new videos every single week. Again, my name is Richard. I'm a local real estate agent here in the Tustin, Irvine area. And if you guys need help with any of this, or you guys have questions, go ahead and reach out to me, or go ahead and leave them in the comment section, and I'll definitely get back to you guys. Also, if you guys are looking to buy, sell, go ahead and reach out to me. Tons of people are actually reaching out to me because of these videos. Again, my name is Richard Reyes, local real estate agent here in the Tustin, Irvine area. I look forward to talking to you guys soon.